Gorilla Tag has a huge fan base, and with a fan base this big, you'd expect there to be a lot of YouTubers. And there is. Some of these YouTubers had made a huge mistake, and that mistake is Gorilla Tag fan games. So you might be wondering, what is the issue with Gorilla Tag fan games? They're fun, they're different, they usually have better gimmicks than normal Gorilla Tag. What is the issue with it? Well, there's a ton of answers to this, but the most well known is they are generally lazy games with bad graphics, bad models, and usually really bad local movement. And the local movement is really not their fault because coding the Gorilla Tag local movement is actually quite hard. So the developers of these games just strip it straight from GitHub. And then probably the worst part of the fan games, the gimmicks. And I know I just said that the gimmicks are usually better than normal Gorilla Tag, but here's the main gimmick that I really have an issue with. And that gimmick is horror mode. I'm not sure which game was the first one to ever introduce horror mode. I'm pretty sure it was Monkey Mischief, and the game that really exploded it was Capuchin. But let's be honest, Monkey Mischief's and Capuchin's horror mode have two very big differences. One is good and one isn't. Monkey Mischief's version of horror mode seems generally really lazy and doesn't seem like it took too much time. And Capuchin's horror mode has levels and has a whole storyline and lure to it, as well as being generally pretty fun to play. Now that we've gone over the horror mode aspect, let's go over the lack of effort. To be honest, every single time I see a new Gorilla Tag fan game come out, it makes me think of them as more and more of a cash grab every single time. Even games such as Ape Runners fully stole Gorilla Tag textures and models multiple different occasions, which once again doesn't really leverage my opinion to the other way. And Ape Runners isn't the only example. There's games such as Bird Runners, Dino Games. There's so many different bad ones. Many of these copies are making money in the scummiest ways possible, such as the monkey games charging $20 for you to scale yourself up. Not only is this a stupid waste of money, but it also makes the game completely unfair and pay to win. The monkey games isn't the only one guilty for doing this, as many games have been charging upwards of $10 for you to get a slight speed boost in the game, which is also a complete waste of money and also makes the game pay to win, just like TMG. And sure, these games' ways of making money are a little bit scummy, but does that really make the game bad? Well, no, not really. Although I don't really like the way that these games are making money, it doesn't really make the game bad. Sure, some of them have really terrible everything, but some of them are generally pretty good. And yeah, that is my issues with Gorilla Tag fan games. I apologize if this video is a little bit sporadic as I've been trying to experiment with different editing styles, trying to see what actually works. So some parts of this video were a little bit awkward. I'm sorry, you know. But yeah, subscribe and yeah, goodbye.